medicine and that kind of healing? The family teach about that?
Well, I think when you compare it to today, when something is bothering you and you go see a doctor, usually they prescribe some pills or something. Sometimes it's a whole bunch of pills. For me, I still believe in Indian medicine, because 30 years ago they told me that maybe I'll be lucky if I live 2 years, because my heart had swollen up to a size where it almost bursted. And I wasn't supposed to do any hard work. I was supposed to just lay around, I suppose. But going back to the old people, and they said, well, we have medicine for that, And it's here in the back. Not only that, but, a sort of the holistic approach, I suppose, to healing. Principle of healing, I think, is that you have to clear your mind and you have a very spiritual way of approaching things. And I pray a lot in my own way, I believe in prayer. I believe that our people prayed long before Christian people came along, because we have a name for what they call God. That's Tsartlip in our language. That's God. And the Spirit, Santuspli, Spirit. And I ask, even today when I get up, I thank the Creator that, I'm able to breathe, that I'm getting out of bed. From that time that they said that I would probably live 2 years. And that's 35 years ago. I'm still here. I'll be 70 on my next birthday, and I'm still doing the work that some 20-year-olds can't do. But that's believing in something that a lot of people don't believe in anymore, is prayer. And believing that something else can help me other than taking pills. I believe in that. I have a sweat lodge back there I use, to cleanse myself. And my sons were just about due for the first one for the spring.
They built a sweat there.
Yeah.
Lodge. Yeah.
And when you bring tobacco, and you present it with tobacco, usually the gift, it's an offering, eh?
Yes.
It's an offering to the Great Spirit, as they put it.
Yes.
So we can build a fire now.
Right.
And we use this for a blessing of the rocks.
Yeah.
And then we can open our sweat for this year.
Sure.
There's so many of those kind of things that I believe in. And the medicines, I can just reach right out here and show you some medicines that some of the medicines we use for different ailments. Eh? It's a type of soap they use for young children.
Mm.
And also, if you have an injury, you can cut quite a few of them, take a few, but they scrape the skin off it. And they use it as a kind of a dressing on an injury. And my son uses it, and it's really effective. And there are other things like willow. Willow is here. Willow is stuff we use here too in the sweat lodge. We use it. It's the same with cedar, to cleanse ourselves with it. Yeah. And it's also, the leaves are also soap.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a cleansing thing, people use, especially when young ladies are in their circle, the month, and they bathe with those things like that. Yeah. And then there's wild rose, what they also use for medicine, also used in the ceremonies, in the winter ceremonies. The wild rose, the sharp part of the wild rose, and they mix it within their stuff they use in the longhouse. Different people use that. It's some of the things that grow around here. And there's also cascara bark, a laxative. Yeah, there's some growing just on the other side there. Yeah. But those are the things that grow right into my back. As you go further, you find different things, eh? Yes. Different things that you can use for medicines. I'm a diabetic, and they gave me some stuff for that disease. And I forget it sometimes. But I don't forget my prayers. I don't pray in a sense that, or in a way that the Christian people tell you to, because it's a basic prayer they have. Everybody uses the same prayer. For me, when I get up in the morning, I think my prayer is different every morning. Because when I pray, I don't only ask for blessing for myself, but for all my people, for all of my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. That's a thing that I do first thing in the morning. I don't think those values I would never let go. I think I'm going to carry that to my grave. I believe in it.
I was wondering whether the family teachings and traditional ways help us to understand how to settle problems when there's trouble.
I guess when you say that, it always kind of reflects on the present system, whenever most people use the court system now. But that creates such a conflict amongst families that it doesn't resolve anything. But in our system, in the justice system that we've kind of developed to this point, and we're still working on it, is that we use the old system about bringing families together. If there's conflict in families, we just don't bring the two people. Or if supposing there's a custody case for, a child, they bring in the grandparents of those two families. And I guess that's what you call a mediator, or whatever it is, that word. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what they call it. To us, it's a speaker, It's in our language. We use those people. And they all have a chance to explain just what the problem area is. And when everything's all done and explained, and they've told the audience on what the problem is, and it goes back to the elder of each family, and they explain what their position is on that problem. Both parties have a chance to explain or to agree with the other party. And when the elders have gotten through speaking, then the mediator gets in there and sort of summarizes what has happened and comes to some kind of agreement on